And then finally we discovered the Magic Shop on Crosby Street, which was a great little studio that was kind of, near his home where he lived, so it was easy for him to get there, and he didn't have to, he kind of sneak in. And I had to not tell anybody, like not even your mother or your partner or your closest friend. No one was allowed to know. And that was, as long as I agreed to that, then I could be in. And I said, I'm not going to tell anybody. I told people I was going to the city to work with some artists from Sweden that nobody had ever heard of. I made up stories. I was like, they're like, what are you doing? I said, oh, I'm doing this session for this guy. You don't know this guy. He's some guy from Sweden. Whatever. I just made up whatever. The only one person he allowed me to tell was my best friend, Sarah Lee, who is also a bass player. She played with Gang of Four, and she's the bass player on Love Shack, B-52s, and she lives in Woodstock as well. She was part of the reason I moved there, because she's British, but she moved to the States in the 80s, and she introduced me to that music community in Woodstock, of which there are many great musicians who live there. In fact, Tony Levin, who lives across the street from me in Kingston. So, I told her, he liked Sarah. She had come and hung out with us, and so I told Sweet, because she was the one who drove me down to the studio with all my gear and helped me, so she knew, and she kept mum about it, and that was it. She was the only person I told. I didn't tell anybody, my family or nobody. And I got there when I could, because I was at the time, I was working with Lenny Kravitz and doing some other things, and I couldn't tell the other artists, what I was doing. So that's why I'm not on the whole album, because I had to go away and do other things, and I could come in when I could get there. So I was good to get the start of it, and then I had to go off.
And I think, your presence on the album is very strong. And another track I didn't mention is that that extraordinary number, If You Can See Me, really give this incredible vocal performance as well. And Heat, the last track with that wonderful smouldering fretless, beautiful bass. It's just such a beautiful album. But yeah, to be on it at all must have been
it was very exciting, and it was such beautiful music. Like after all that time, I was like, oh, now he's in a whole nother. How does he come up with this music? It's just, it really, it's incredible. I work for a lot of artists, but a lot of artists are still, they have new songs and they kind of go into a new thing and they have a new outfit or whatever it is. But like his projects from one to the next go into a whole new zone of musicality and imagery, and it's just like, it's endless. It's like, you listen to his whole catalog and you just think, how did he come up with this stuff? And the next day was definitely like that. The songs are really incredible, and the arrangements. And he had, that session was really unique too, because a lot of the bass on that was kind of specific things. He had some sheet music that he brought in for Jerry and different people who played, and David Torn and whatever. And at the end of the day, it was such a secret project. It's like he would come in with a little briefcase, a little cat, was really cute, his slippers on, get comfortable, and we would work, and he would introduce the music on that day, because in the past, we would have the songs beforehand. We'd have something to work with beforehand. But because it was so secret, we weren't even allowed to hear the song until we played it. So that was like, again, challenging for me, because I'm like, oh my God, how am I gonna, but I did okay. I learned to not panic anymore at that point, just take it easy and figure it out. So, he had various little pieces of sheet music, and at the end of the day, he would go around the music stands and whip them off one at a time, so nobody would take anything home or take a picture of it or anything. I mean, it was such a lockdown project, and it worked. It worked, and then it finished, and then maybe a year went by or so, and I didn't even know if it would even come out. I'd forgotten all about it. And then I was like everybody else, woke up to the clock Radio Woodstock, played Where Are We Now? And I was like, oh my God, it's coming out. That secret record is finally coming out. Oh my God. So I was, know, just as surprised as everyone else, because I just didn't know when or if he would even ever release it.
And that was David being innovative all over again, because this is, you know, Beyonce and everyone, they do this all the time now, the secret drop, but he kind of invented that, didn't he, with that? And
he really did
amazing.
with that. He invented it because, and then other people, you know, followed suit as usual. He was always a pioneer.
Well, sadly, I feel like we could carry on forever.